Peter Lurie here to take you through the week on HRTV. Wednesday was opening day of the 41st Oak Tree Meet held at Santa Anita Park.
The sun shines over the mountains every morning, giving power to the oak tree, a symbol of strength and endurance, a symbol of thoroughbred racing. It's where champions are made and legends are remembered.
And Skywalker, an upset winner with Pinkai aboard.
It's where a 53-year-old icon returned to greatness and where a beauty became the best.
Under the line, it's half battle of filly champion, winning by 3 lengths.
It's where the Derby winner preps for the second biggest race of his life.
Mind that bird has won the Kentucky Derby. An impossible result here.
Oh, Lord.
And where a daughter claimed victory in a place her father could not.
Flamethrower, all hard at the rail. He's not going to let Street Craig get by. Zenyatta's going to come home to score. Undoubtedly now a living legend.
A quiet, humble man can be larger than life.
Man, oh, Mandela, what a day. What a day for trainer Richard Mandela. Was it 3.5 or was it 4 he won this afternoon?
The larger than life can be humble.
Kerwin gave the biggest punch he could throw. What an upset here at Santa Anita.
This is Oak Tree, home to more Breeders' Cup champions than any other venue on earth. A symbol of strength and endurance. A symbol of thoroughbred racing.
Let's do a bullet
All
journal
right.
real quick. Oak Tree opening weekend. What's their logo?
It's some kind of bush or tree with horses flying
It's
out
a tree of horses.
Okay,
You're absolutely
all
right. What was the attendance yesterday on opening day?
I think I read 17,000. Is that right?
17,000
Wow.
on track
Well,
for
that was
opening
great.
day. And where can you catch every Oak Tree race live?
Right here on HRTV.
Right here on
And it's the entire
HRTV.
race as well.
Director and Executive Vice President of Oak Tree, Sherwood Chillingworth, stopped by Race Day America on Thursday.
It's very exciting to hold world championships, wherever they be. And last year, everybody, the media, Breeders' Cup itself, the fans, all said it was the best Breeders' Cup ever presented. And I went over to the Langham Hotel after the last race on Saturday, and I had forgotten to take my Oak Tree pin off. And I was stopped by a large number of mostly Englishmen and Scotsmen, Irishmen as well, of course, saying this is the best place to have Breeders' Cup. Why do they have it anywhere else in the world?
It's because they won all the races.
Well, it was 91 degrees, and the Englishmen thought the weather was fantastic. We thought it was too hot. But everybody had a good time here. It was very well done, and the cooperation of the Santa Anita staff, as you know, we're a very small organization, and we use the Santa Anita staff for our staff. And they did a marvelous job in putting it over. Our volunteers were very helpful. Made it a great experience.
Wednesday was the premiere of HRTV Grandstand, covering Oak Tree's live racing, interviews with trainers and jockeys, and reactions from owners.
Jeff, there's your mare, and the key, she had no chance the way she completely got left at the starting gate in Arizona. Hopefully she'll break well today.
That would be nice. Hopefully she does run on and does a little bit of running anyway.
Where's the confidence level in the Mandy Mac Siegel camp?
On a scale of 10?
Yeah.
About a 1.5.
I think
I've said the same thing about UCLA going back to Tennessee, so don't count them out.
I think I've got more confidence than Jeff does. I actually love this filly. I like the
30 to 1.
I think you've got a better chance than a 1 on the Richter scale to 10.
I hope you're right.
Better be lucky than good, perhaps.
Coming with a late run, and Delacier's in there as well. Doubled up. Anyone can win this one. They come for home. Emmy Darling hanging on desperately. Emmy Darling doubled up. They hit the wire. Emmy Darling a neck to doubled up.
Jeff was halfway to the winner's circle.
Well, here's the deal. She was carrying 124 pounds, and by the time she hit the 16th pole, she was carrying all 3 of us, carrying way too much weight there, Jeff, with a huge race.
Grease rode her perfect. but I wish Gary was on. Amazing. I'm thrilled. Believe me, I'm thrilled, because I'm not usually a pessimist, but I did feel she was going to need one or two, and she ran hard, so I'm glad. You know.
Did Jeff just say he's normally not a pessimist?
Yeah, that's exactly
today
what he said.
I was painting the blackest of pictures. You know, you even gave me some hope. I felt, well, Gary's not
Jeff.
I know you liked her.
3 stars. If I had to put a 4th, boom, that's my fault. Blame me.
Pays the monthly bill.
No,
anyway.
I'm not a gambler. Are you kidding?
A star-packed field has ventured to Longchamp for Europe's most prestigious race. See the Stars will look for his 6th consecutive Grade 1 victory.
See the Stars comes alongside Master Craftsman, eyeballs him and goes on, and See the Stars, a galaxy apart.
And to follow in the footsteps of his dam, 93 ARC winner Urban Sea.
To be able to win it with this horse would be marvellous, because he's had such a great career. It would be nice to crown it with the ARC.
Fame and Glory leads an O'Brien trio. He'll try to turn the tables on See the Stars, who defeated him in the Irish Champion Stakes and the Epsom Derby.
See the Stars will complete the Guinness and Derby double.
Star filly Dar Remy is looking for vengeance after a controversial disqualification in the Prix Vermeil at Longchamp. HRTV presents the 88th running of the Arc de Triomphe, starting right now.
In this week's International Report, Fanny Salmon was up close with a 6-time Group 1 winner, See the Stars.
John Clark yesterday was saying that See the Stars is probably the best horse. He's the best horse he's ever seen, probably the best one he will ever see. How does it make you feel when you hear?
It's hard to know how to describe him. I suppose what I would say is that we don't know, whether he's the best horse or not, but what he does represent is probably the best that a breeder can breed in 2009. It's the temperament, the performance, the speed. You couldn't breed a better horse. Probably for me, he represents, where the thoroughbred has arrived to 300 years from its beginning, and that's for me, that's what he is.
See the Stars will complete the Guinness and Derby double.
I love this horse, I still, sometimes I go home, I miss, my best friend, I know everything is, I don't know, like friend, it's like my family now,
He certainly knows he's important. He observes everything, he watches everything, he seems to take everything in. A lot of horses, you don't think they think of too much at all. They just think of the next feed maybe, but he seems to look at everything and observe everything and know what's going on.
Don't want to take a bite out of it.
And it's 4 Group 1s, and See the Stars, a galaxy apart, wins the Juddmonte International.
But it is great. It's a wonderful thing to have a horse like that. Just any trainer would look on it as a blessing to have a horse like that walk through his or her gate. It's a bit of luck that he's with us and that he's here, and we have to enjoy that.
How would you say, look at the stars? To look up in the sky and watch the stars, how would you say that in Brazilian?
Estrela do Mar. It's a nice name, lovely name. Perfect for him,
If you woke up early enough on Sunday, you would have seen the Star winning his 6th consecutive Group 1 right here on HRTV. Fanny Salmon joined Race Day America later to recap the race.
And it's set still in front to Grand Ducal in second place, Dasalita in third, Daremi 4, Vision Datar is next. See the Stars in traffic problems, but he's making significant progress now as Dasalita goes to home, Daremi in second. Between them comes See the Stars, Cavalryman is next, Conduit is on the outside, they're inside the last furlong. He had a troubled run through, See the Stars in front, Zane's coming through to try and take second place, but he is the brightest star. See the Stars won it.
Our own international reporter for Pursuit of the Cup, Fanny Salmon, was on hand, and she's joining us right now. Fanny, how exciting was it?
It's hard to find the words, really. We thought last year after we saw Zarkava win that it would be a while until we became this excited again. But just before See the Star actually made his way to the track, he was already applauded like we have never heard in Longchamp, and everything was unbelievable. He didn't have the perfect trip, yet he managed to overcome. And And when he came back to the winner circles, I heard more noise than I've ever heard in Longchamp.
Have you had a chance to catch up with the jockey and ask him about why See the Stars wouldn't sort of switch off early on?
No, we managed to talk to pretty much everybody, and I did speak to Mikilan, but it was so fast that we didn't really have time to analyze the race. And I would ask See the Stars right now because the phone is about a hand away from him. Actually, the phone is now touching his nose, but he has no comments.
No comment at this time from See the Stars.
No.
It sounds like the race took more out of you than it did See the Stars, Fanny.
I'll tell you, definitely. It's been an afternoon of running around, and no, it didn't take anything out of him. And the strange thing is, he arrived yesterday, and they said in the past he could be a bit coltish when he's around other horses. That's why they wanted him early, and he's not bothered by anything. He just keeps looking at you and looking at what's going on, but he couldn't care less, you know. He's in his stall, hitting his hay, and looking fine. He just doesn't have a bother in the world. There's an expression I heard once in Ireland, and I think it fits into the bone. It was cool as a cucumber.
Always in his signature trench coat, suit and tie, and dark sunglasses, the visage of Joe Hirsch walking the backstretch was one that commanded respect from everyone in the game. The veteran turf rider covered racing's biggest moments in the latter half of the 20th century and served as the recognized standard for his profession.
Joe was a role model from day one, and for the obvious reasons and the not so obvious reasons. He was a gentleman, the way he held himself, and as you're growing in the business, in any business, if you're smart, you try to look to the people who do it right and who are acknowledged as the ones who do it best.
He was your first friend at the racetrack. He saw an unfamiliar face in the press box, and he just came over, introduced himself, and made every rookie feel like the most important guy in the world. And you talk to 50 writers, and they'll tell you the same story.
The late Joe Hirsch was honored at Belmont with the Turf Invitational, one of 5 Grade 1 races on Saturday.
Interpretation is a stubborn foe. Gio Ponte has lost the lead. Gio Ponte has lost the lead to Interpretation, who runs a remarkable race. Music Note will be the winner of the Beldame in 2009. It is Music Note. Kodiak Cowboy bearing down. Fabulous Strike and Kodiak Cowboy. Fabulous Strike and Kodiak Cowboy. Here's the wire. Kodiak Cowboy got him in the very last jump. Pure Clan. Well, it was raining here at Belmont Park, and Pure Clan reigns in the Flower Bowl. Quality Road is fighting him stubbornly all the way down to the wire. Quality Road is tenacious, but Summerbird's in front, and they're coming down to the finish, and it is Summerbird. He won the Belmont, he won the Travers, and now he's won the Jockey Club Gold Cup.
Earlier in the week, Race Day America caught up with Jockey Club Gold Cup winning trainer Tim Ice.
I think he looks very good. He's a lot more mature. I don't think he looks like a 3-year-old anymore. I feel that he's ready to step up and take on older horses. So I'm feeling very positive coming into the race.
This is a time of year when we see many of the 3-year-olds really showing kind of a growth spurt. We've seen that with Rachel Alexander getting a little bit taller, leggier, and thinner. How has this growthy stage affected Summerbird?
I think he's only improved off of it. You can definitely tell the change in him. I've said before, he's gone from a boy to a man in the past 2 or 3 months. Just each race he comes out of it and looks like physically he's just developing. As every race he runs in, just in between races, he's growing more. So I have a lot of confidence in him, and just the way he looks and trains. If he runs to how he looks, then we're in great shape.
Macho again may not have won the big race this week, but he was the subject of HRTV Diary.
This is where it all began, West Point Thoroughbreds.
You'll be thanking me for this, Terry Finley. Free advertising. Look who I managed to bump into. Let's see if I can get a shot of this halter. Hi, big boy. Macho again. Almost the upset winner over Rachel Alexander. You're watching Rachel. Macho again. It's a feisty bugger, isn't he?
He likes his tongue played with.
Who doesn't? Alvina, what do you think of Macho again? This is Macho again's groom.
Yes, I think him is the best horse on the wall.
Macho again having a morning stretch under the watchful eye of Dallas Stewart. We saw Macho again the other day walking around the shadow. How's he doing?
So far, so good. Looks like he came out of the race good.
And where are you pointed?
We're going to go to the Jockey Club Gold Cup.
Macho Man! Yeah, we're talking about you, Pedro. Guess we're going to follow these guys to the track. The Downs Dawn again. I think this might be Macho again. I'm wrong. Okay, let's try for Macho again. It's coming on the rail. Right there. Macho again, calling out. Hi, big boy. Oh, God, you are such a ham. How's he doing, Pedro?
Good. He's doing really good. Hopefully we're going to get it next time.
You've seen the front. Let's see the back. This is what they're going to be looking at.
We got an amazing horse and, we got paid by the best, so ain't no shame about that.
There'll be no Rachel in the Jockey Club Gold Cup.
So we'll hopefully get it there.
All right, Pedro.
Not only can Aaron deliver a best bet on Against the Odds, but he's 1 for 1 with pick 6 singles on the edge.
I'm going to make a single in the race that many people will pick another horse. It's the 20th running of the Cal Cup Classic, and I think that Bold Chieftain is the single. I agree with Brad. Earlier on, he said, I thought Bold Chieftain was done at Del Mar. Well, I did too. But you know what? A ship back north, a little fresh air right off the bay, and gets a very big win. That's a confidence builder for a back-class horse. He's a real good campaigner and ultra tough. I think it's Bold Chieftain that is the single in the Cal Cup Classic. So we've got one edge down. Every Friday night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, we will have another edge for you, previewing the Pick 6 at Oak Tree.
Here's Bold Chieftain striking the front now, and it's going to be Bold Chieftain to win it going away. Bold Chieftain and Russell Blaze have won the California Cup Classic.
Saturday was Cal Cup Day at Oak Tree, and Jeff Siegel ranked his favorite California breds of all time.
We'll begin our list at number 5 with William and Ethel Kirkman's Ancient Title. Ancient Title won 24 of 57 career outings, and all but 3 of his starts took place in California. But it wasn't until his victory in the 1975 Whitney Handicap at Saratoga that Ancient Title gained the national respect that he so richly deserved. At number 4, we have John and Betty Maybe's immensely popular Best Pal. He was saddled by Gary Jones when winning the inaugural running of the $1 Million Pacific Classic in 1991, en route to career earnings of $5.6 million. For sheer brilliance, there may not have been a better California bred ever than our third-ranked Native Diver. Native Diver terrorized the West Coast Handicap Division during the mid-1960s, winning 37 of 81 career starts, including back-to-back-to-back victories in the Hollywood Gold Cup, all 3 under his regular pilot, Jerry Lambert. Tisnow didn't actually break his maiden until May of his 3-year-old season, but 5 months later, trainer Jay Robbins had Tisnow ready to beat a world-class field that included Giants Causeway in the Classic at Churchill Downs. It was hardly a fluke. A year later, in what would be his final career start, Tisnow broke the heart of another high-class European import, Saqib, when bravely re-rallying to win the Classic at Belmont Park, boosting his career earnings to $6.4 million. But Tisnow's credentials, impressive as they are, fell just short of landing him at the top of our rankings as the greatest Calbred of all time. That honor will always go to the Meshteni-trained Swaps, a winner of 19 of 25 lifetime starts. Not only did Swaps make a habit of setting world records from 5 furlongs to a mile and 5 furlongs, he was always burdened with giving away an enormous amount of weight. But 130 pounds to Swaps was nothing more than water off his back, and his regular rider, Willie Shoemaker, said Swaps and Spectacular Bid were the greatest thoroughbreds he ever rode.
Calbreds were the highlight this weekend at Oak Tree, and next weekend, it's Derby winner Mind That Bird.
Joe, I noticed too that you had such a nice long hold and you were relaxed. I'm curious how much it takes to really gas him and get him going, because with that dramatic move he made in the stretch in the Kentucky Derby, what do you think it would take to really get him to kick on?
I guess just his ability to move the last part is extremely well. I mean, that was only 5'8", so I think a mile and a quarter, you know, as the speed goes and they come back to him, he really has a tremendous kick. But I think Calvin Burrell holds the key to him. The way he rode him in the Derby was unbelievable, and he's had a lot of success with him.
What do you hope for? Best case scenario or worst case scenario in the Goodwood next weekend?
Well, as long as my horse shows up and runs his best race, I'm not too concerned about the Goodwood. I mean, I think he'll run big, and we, you know, when you lead one like him up there, you expect him to win. I mean, you don't lead him up there thinking, well, if he runs third, I'll be happy. So, I mean, we're trying to win with no doubt about it. So hopefully he'll run big, but like you say, the ultimate goal is we need a race over the racetrack, and he hadn't run in 10 weeks. He may need a start. You know, it's hard to say, but the good thing with him, he only runs 3/8 of a mile, so it's a little easier to keep those kind fit than one that has to go up on the front end and do battle, you know, so see what happens.
Well, Chip, how has Mind That Bird changed mentally and physically through the course of the Triple Crown?
Well, physically, he's grown up a little bit. He's a little taller, maybe a little leaner look to him now because he's grown up. But as far as mentally, he's just been a mental giant. You know, the horse, he comes up here, he wants to train every day, just like when we walked him today. And you put him back in his stall, he gets pretty wound up and kind of bouncing around in there because he wants to be out there and do his thing, you know. So, but he hasn't changed a lot, you know. He's the picture of health, and he's doing super. The throat surgery we did on him back in Belmont seems to be just absolutely perfect. So we've scoped him several times, can't find anything in there. He really looks good. So I think, you know, we're ready to roll.
More with trainer Chip Woolley on Across the Board next week. This week, Scott and Becky sat down with trainer John Sadler.
You started training started horse racing, got into horse racing as a vet's assistant. Now, how'd you go from being a vet's assistant to a trainer?
I was working for Jack Robbins, another one of the directors here at Oak Tree, and a great California horseman. And then Dave Hoffman's asked me if I could come to work for him, and so I went to work for him. So I've been blessed being around good people all the time and landing in the right spot.
Before you got your first job with Jack Robbins, did you have a background with horses?
Yeah, my original background was show horses. I loved riding horses, and all through high school I was jumping horses up in La Cañada at the Flintridge Riding Club. I used to carpool up there every day, and I'm proud to say the girl that I carpooled with, Ann Krasinski, went on and won a silver medal in the Olympics, and I got too big.
Oh, but you had aspirations to do that?
Yeah, I have aspirations of going to the Olympics, and I got too tall. So I switched over. I loved horses. I said, what can I do with horses that keep me involved in horses? And so I switched from the show horses to the race horses, started working at the track, lived around here in this area, and I've been here ever since.
That's all for HRTV this week. Here's what you can look forward to next week.
On the outside, we have Sandy Cheeks and top-seeded with a late run. It's a blanket finish, getting up late. Sandy Cheeks, Word Association, top-seeded. Then Warren Swapfox and Saturn Moon was fifth.
$700,000 payoff to Sandy Cheeks. The first-time starter comes home a winner at 30-1 in the 8th and final at Oak Tree.
Alonso Quinones, you have made somebody so incredibly happy, and I don't even think you realize it. You just won somebody $787,000. How does that feel?
I just hope I get the 10% of that too, you know.
You want to hand out your address and we'll have him maybe mail a check?
Yes, for sure.
Alonzo, I'll tell you what, I'll give out my address, I'll have him mail me the check, and then I'll give it to you.
I'll give you my address.
All right, we'll work out the details, guys, but somebody's really happy out there because of this guy.